Okay, let's start with candidate A. You have 2 minutes. You can begin now.
Good morning, examiners and fellow candidates. In my opinion, I think that clean water supply should be provided. All of us know that water is very important to our human, and a human cannot survive without water for 3 days. When the natural disaster is occurred, such as tsunami, earthquake, and storm or drought, all of the water supplies are destroyed, such as well, dam, water reservoir. If there is no water, human cannot do any daily activities, even those the basic activities such as cook, drink, wash, or bath. They cannot even clean the wound. Clean water supply should be provided. Clean water should be sent from other country or other state to the state or the area that occur the natural disasters, so that people can do the daily activities and they can survive. For example, when drought occur, there are no water is provided. When a tsunami is occurred, all the water are contaminated, and they cannot use the water, because if they use the water, they will cause harmful or diseases to the people. So clean water should be provided. For example, water can use in cooking food or prepare some soup or drinks to them to keep them warm. They can use the water to wash their bodies, clean the wood or bath, clean the clothes.
Okay, stop. Candidate B, you have 2 minutes. You may start now.
Good morning, examiners and candidates. In my opinion, I think basic food items should be provided. Nowadays, around our earth, we have tsunami, flash flood, if earthquake happen. This will bring harmfulness to resistance. It also will destroy crops and plants like paddy, bamboo, and the animals will die. So people, the residents have faced problem of lack of food. Some company or government can provide immediate food to the victims. They can provide biscuits, bread, can, so that the victim can walk from hunger. Some volunteers can cook some food together at temporary house to provide food to the victims. If the victims don't have food, they will die due to the hunger and cannot live without 7 days. If the victims can get energy, nutrition from food, so the children don't have to suffer the kwashiorkor because of lack of nutrition. Because of food, victims have energy to defend the diseases. Volunteers can cook food under the tent to give to victims.
Okay, stop. Candidate C, you have 2 minutes. You can start now.
Good morning to the examiner and fellow candidates. I would like to start my discussion by saying that medical supplies should be provided during natural disaster. This is natural disaster include earthquake, drought, tsunami, and so on. People require medical supplies. This is because loss of disease will happen due to their poor living condition that caused by natural disaster. Example of disease included chickenpox, dengue fever, sickness, and so on. Therefore, medicine should be provided to the victims in order to help them to eradicate the disease. In comparison, if no medical supplies to the victims, the people are waiting to die, as no solution for them to cure for their disease. Second to that, medical supplies should provide rescue teams such as central ambulance, Red Crescent members, and so on. This particular member not only provided medical supplies but also give them positive motivation. This helped them to be optimistic so that they are not losing all hopes and not render themselves to the natural disaster. This particular rescue team also can give vaccination or injection which included antibiotic, penicillin, paracetamol, and so on, so that the victims can recover from their sickness and disease. And in comparison, if the medical supplies are not provided to the victims tend to lose all their hopes and giving up by the way, and at the final stage they tend to die as no resolution to help them cure for their disease.
Candidate D, you have 2 minutes. You can start now.
Good morning to the examiners and fellow candidates. In my opinion, I think that temporary housing should be provided. First, the government can build tents up of the hill to avoid the victims from being the natural disasters. The tents, the temporary housings can give the protections to the victims from the sun, rain, strong wind, and storm. If they do not have the temporary housing, victims will get cold or feel tired and cannot rest when they feel tiring. Next, the temporary housing can give the victims privacy. They can change their clothes, sleep or rest in the tents when they need to do so. Especially at night, the weather is so cold and they need the temporary housing to sleep. Furthermore, children can gather at the temporary housings when the natural disasters happen. Many parents lost their parents during the disasters. They will feel alone and feel sad. So the temporary housing can let them together and let them feel warm and happy. Next, the temporary housing can store food. The crops are destroyed and they lack of food, so the food is so important. They can store the food like bread, biscuits in the temporary housings. They can also warm their food and store the water.
Okay, stop.